show. I think something else is going to happen right now, though. What's the next thing on our bill? People are in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen, because there's nothing more important in this world than science. Science it's important. You need science to wake up in the morning. You need science to mix a cocktail. You need science to put money in the bank. You just need science. You just fucking need science. And nobody has a monopoly on science more than our friend Pete Goldie. And in fact, he's what people call a scientist.
A science report.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen, with our space science report. The scientist, Mr. Pete Goldie, the hat being non-scientific. See, he even needs science to be able to speak, ladies and gentlemen. Can someone hand him that microphone? I'm stapled to the stool. Blind fear, ladies and gentlemen. We can't make this shit up.
Yeah.
Pete Goldie, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, hi, Jim.
Hi, Pete.
Hi, Jim.
Science me.
Science. That's an Aurora Borealis.
Whoa.
Wow.
The green thing over there. Wait.
Oh, sorry.
Where's the pointer?
Hey, Jim.
How can I tell? Oh.
That.
Nice
That.
boat.
And, the last few shows, none of my graphics fit on the screen here because of a computer thing, computers.
Science.
So I made everything smaller. Everything smaller.
We can't read it now.
Yeah, I'll read it. The Ask Dr. Hal Show Space Science Report, 23 November 2013. This is Iceland. And above Iceland is Aurora Borealis. And a weird cloud. And the moon. That was just that's not...
Ladies and gentlemen, the opening.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Science, bitch. Science.
All right, move it along.
Everyone is all excited about the comet ISON, which they're calling ISON, which is actually an acronym.
Did they really turn blue?
Green. It turned green. Yeah, there's the astronomers are starting to get a little bit excited. I should say the amateur astronomers. The real astronomers don't really care much about comets that they the amateurs, they get all excited because they can find them. Hooray.
Amateurs.
So it's sort of green, and what's happening now is it's forming a nice, interesting sort of tail there. And with the next picture, next video.
Whoa.
Yes, we're going to show a video. I want to show you its one-way trip. It's going to do a one-way trip through our solar system. It's on its way right now.
Video, ladies and gentlemen, just like you're at home. Only
Here it is.
You can't pick the channel.
This is as if we're tailgating the comet as it heads into the inner solar system, passing near Mars, and a miss.
Whoa.
There we go. And look at all those tilted orbits of the inner planets as it goes under the plane of the planets and into a sun-grazing position, and there it goes. Thrown way out. It does have enough speed that it will not be back. Goodbye.
Speed.
But it hasn't done that. At this point now in the comet ISON's journey, it's just about there. It's about to get close as it's going to get to the sun. I think within the time period between now and the next live Ask Dr. Hal show, it will be at that point. Now the good thing about it is some of our other instruments and space assets have finally picked it up here. Yes, there's a space asset. There's a couple of satellites that are orbiting in the Lagrange points to get a stereo perspective on the sun, and one of those finally picked it up. GIF, GIF. Yeah, throw that away. Yeah.
Is there any way we get the prop crates that showed up here from last month to go by the sun and kind of like
I want
orbit
the
out
video.
of the theater?
The what? Oh, I was going to pick those up.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I bet
Jim.
you were.
Technical thing, I promised to pick up those crates.
Okay, yay.
They're still here.
They're big words
There,
in
yeah.
space.
Okay, so this is one of the stereo spacecraft, and picture the perspective here. The sun is off screen here to the right. It can actually see Earth and Mercury because they're orbiting around the sun. You see all that? That is the solar wind passing right out away from the sun. And here's a comet Enki is coming in. And notice if some things are just sort of metaphorical, but a solar wind really is a wind. He says it blows all these particles away from the sun. You can see it there, and making the tail of Comet Enki like go around. And here comes Comet ISON, just as finally got into perspective from this satellite. But it's a pretty interesting perspective when you think that what to see this picture.
So if there's no sound in space, does that mean that the solar wind is silent but deadly?
It's silent but deadly. Yes, it is. It is.
Thank you.
The wind's a bear.
There.
Why do?
By the way, he'll be here all week and all month and forever. So that's it. Oh, guess what? Our country, the United States of America, has launched another rocket ship toward Mars. This launched on Monday. It's the Maven Mission. Maven stands for
Mars Atmospheric Volatiles Explorer for something.
Anyway, it went in flawless launch. Went off. It's on a Hoffman transfer orbit now. It will be at Mars in about 8 months, and it's going to go into orbit there. And it's going to do some cool things. Please, I'll tell you the cool things it's going to do with its neat instrument package. There it is, an artist rendering. Cool. And it's got 4 primary scientific objectives there. It's going to determine the loss of volatiles from the Mars atmosphere into space that has been displayed through time. It's going to determine the current state of the upper atmosphere, the ionosphere, and the interactions with the solar wind. It's going to determine the rates of escape of neutral gases and ions to space and the processes which control them. And it will determine the ratios of the stable isotopes that are in the upper atmosphere and leaking to space.
Science.
Yes. Why? Why would that? I think the only way to answer that is to show yet another animation produced by NASA. And here it comes. Sherilyn is on the ball here. And thanks for the red laser, dude. It all started, it started. Our sun.
In a world where the sun was active.
The silence were created by man.
That's spoilers.
Oh, sorry.
So, once upon a time, Mars had a magnetic field, and the magnetic field kept all this solar wind. Remember the solar wind? Protected its atmosphere, and then the magnetic field went away, and the solar wind hit Mars, and what did it do? There goes the atmosphere, goodbye! Oh, and now it gets all battered with solar wind and part of protons. And it's just, atmosphere is still going away. It gets cold, and everyone's unhappy. Here's the nice thick atmosphere that used to be on Mars, and oh, now it's a thin little, tiny, not very happy. And here's these little blue things are the atoms that went out and they return the atmosphere. But then when they get enough escape velocity, they just keep on going. Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, so how do you solve the mystery of when, how much, and all that? Well, you send a spacecraft there that orbits it, and it's actually going to dip down into the atmosphere. It's an interesting orbiter. It's going to be much closer than most of the things we send there to orbit. So it's going to get as close as 125 kilometers to taste the atmosphere with its fancy instruments. And what fancy instruments does it have? Again, an artist rendering. This is very realistic. Don't you feel like it's...
Whoa.
Wow.
Wow, there it goes. And don't throw up. We're going to go upside down now. Hang on. Whoa, it's the roller coaster of orbiting Mars. There, oh, it's upside down. Yes, the things that it's going to see, again, it's got 3 major packages. It's going to include particles and fields with magnetometers, with plasma waves, and for sweat. It's going to pick up the sweat of Mars. And then the particles and fields package, it's going to have the, this SW, it's solar wind ion analyzer. Oh, and the remote sensing package, a UV camera there. So they're going to take some pictures of the UV glow at the edge of the atmosphere and all of this nice stuff. Well, it's going to be there again in about 8 months. Nice achievement, government. By the way, they almost sequestered and canceled this because of the shutdown of the government, but they decided not to, and they decided priority, go for launch, and they launched it. And everything is groovy. And then what are we going to get out of this? Charts and pictures for the Ask Dr. Hal show, ultimately. And blah, blah, blah. We're done with this. Thank you.
We keep on going.
There it is. Yes, again. And that's it. Hey, are there any other things happening going toward Mars right now? The answer is...
One of those?
What?
Yes.
Yes, again. Looks like one of our rockets, again, heading toward Mars.
Is there a frog?
No frog blasting off here, but this is indeed a rocket leaving Earth for Mars. But this has been launched by
China.
China. Everyone says China, right? China.
India.
India. It was India. It's India. I will accept heckling if it's the right answer. Yes, the Indians. Indians. Are
They are Indian.
the native Indians.
Good job. Well done.
Yes. How do I get myself out of being a pigget here? The Indian Indians. The East Indians. Engines
Keep digging.
launched
Keep digging.
that
I
rocket.
believe the correct term is Redskins.
Yay!
I'm sorry. Too soon?
Yeah, wait just a second.
Yes, they are. They launched this, and it is successfully launched. Now, this is not a simple mission. This is actually a little bit of a complicated mission because they don't have a powerful enough rocket to get to Mars like we get to Mars, where we just. That's how we do it.
Whoa.
No. The way the Indian rocket is doing it, it's less powerful, so it's got to go. And now let me show you in an illustration. No, it's an artist rendering of what they're sending out there. Again, it looks like any other spacecraft. Solar panels and instruments in a box. Oh yes, and the instruments in it, they're sending a package of, well, basically there's only 4 instruments in there. It's a camera, an alpha photometer, and an imaging spectrometer, and you see this? It's a SOAR for Mars.
Soar.
Yeah, these things are actually... Yeah, it's a sensor. Sensor for Mars. So they're sending all, they're on their way. Now, again, it's a complicated space maneuver to get there. Here it is. In fact, when it was launched, all it could do is get into a highly elliptical orbit around Earth. And when it's at the closest approach to Earth, it fired its tiny little feeble rocket and went up to a slightly more eccentric orbit. It did this 4 times. It has now, even though it glitched on one of these, didn't get high enough, they repeated it, got high enough. It is now at this highest 4th orbit, and shortly, in fact, on November 30th, is that Hal's birthday? 28th, yes. Sorry, not for your birthday, on November 30th. Happy birthday, Hal. They will fire all the propellant they have to the Mars transfer trajectory, and off it'll go, and it'll hit this half of a Mars planet here at the edge of the screen. There, and it'll take 10 months, as opposed to our direct flight, 8 months. Yay, we win. Yeah, we're gonna beat it there, even though we left 2 weeks after this Indian rocket. It'll be there sooner than
Yes.
We're number 1. We're number 1.
right arm. And this is what it has done. In one of those highly eccentric orbits, the Indian rocket has taken a photograph and sent it back to Earth of the Indian subcontinent. Here we see the subcontinent. There's the Himalayas and Tibet. And this is, oh, that's our oil. This is Afghanistan. And over here, they're bar mitzvahs, you know, each pyramids, everything. So it got this is going pretty good. And it's, again, it'll be there in 100 days. Good for you, India. Second interplanetary launch. First one that's working okay.
Thank God.
Indica?
Indigo.
Yeah, sure. Oh, you know what?
What? Oh,
Yesterday, I think I was listening to the radio and I heard this guy. Everybody know David Brooks here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was talking about the Jfk Legacy.
Who?
The JFK, remember him? Yesterday was an anniversary of something. I don't know. It was Puzzling Evidence, his birthday. I don't know. What was it? There's something happened with JFK. So they got this gas bag who talks on PBS.
It was the beginning of the gun regulation movement, I think.
Thanks, freedom. Thanks, guys. Okay, anyway, so he said that JFK made politics too utopian and that was a complete failure, and it went to disillusionment. And it turned out the politics couldn't do all of those things that he promised. Yeah, the things, you know.
The things.
So screw JFK because he made promises he couldn't keep.
And those other things.
That's
Right, all those things.
That's why they killed him.
Right. So all I have to say is this is my response to that. By the way, it's oh yeah. By the way, the moon pitch. Yeah. I think we have one more picture of my daughter in training. Yeah, my daughter is training with the simulated Mars giant white lizard there in the interplanetary multicultural playground here in the Mission. Goodbye.
Pete Goldie! Pete Goldie's not going to retreat to the green room for some important after show, whatever. Hi, everybody!
Hi.
I have no idea what the hell's happening next. What's happening?